Don't come. It'll be awkward. My sister texted an hour before her wedding. I stared at my phone, dressed and ready. Then my phone rang again. My name is Laura Bennett. I'm 34 years old. I work as an operations coordinator at a regional logistics company. It's steady work, nothing flashy, but it keeps me grounded. I'm the middle child in my family, which basically means I've spent my whole life being the quiet one nobody really notices. My parents have always cared more about appearances than anything else. My sister, she's the one they parade around, the one who can do no wrong. I helped them for years, financially when they needed it, emotionally when things got hard. I never asked for much in return, just basic respect, maybe some acknowledgement. After my divorce 2 years ago, I had to rebuild everything, slowly and carefully. My confidence, my independence, my sense of self-worth. When my sister got engaged, I actually helped her plan parts of the wedding behind the scenes. I researched vendors, compared prices, even helped with the seating chart. So when she told me not to come, it cut deeper than anything before. I wasn't rich or important to them, but I had something they never tracked. Have you ever been excluded by your own family, told to stay away for appearances? If you've ever been pushed aside quietly while still being expected to help from the shadows, this story is for you. Please subscribe if this sounds familiar, drop a comment sharing your experience, and click like or hype before we continue. You're not alone in this. The morning of the wedding, I was already dressed. I'd picked out a simple navy dress, nothing that would draw attention, but appropriate for the occasion. The gift I'd bought was wrapped and sitting by the door. I'd arranged a ride. Everything was ready. Then my phone buzzed. "Don't come. Mom thinks it's better." That was it. No explanation, no apology, just a blunt dismissal from my own sister. I sat there, staring at the screen, my hands shaking. Before I could even process it, my phone rang. It was my mother. "Laura, honey, we think it's just better if you sit this one out. You understand, right? We want to keep things calm." Her voice was casual, like she was discussing the weather. I tried to argue, but she'd already hung up. 20 minutes later, the family group chat lit up. My mother had posted an announcement. "Laura unfortunately couldn't make it today. Let's keep her in our thoughts." I watched as relatives sent heart emojis and well wishes, completely unaware I'd been uninvited an hour before the ceremony. I sat alone in my apartment while photos started appearing online. My sister in her white dress, my parents beaming, everyone smiling. That night, around 11, I got a message from my brother-in-law. "Hey, quick question. Do you have that bank detail handy?" I stared at it, confused. What bank detail? Why now? Then it hit me. Something financial was connected to all of this. After the wedding, my parents stopped answering my calls. Every time I tried to reach them, it went straight to voicemail. My sister didn't respond to texts. It was like I'd been erased. A week later, my sister posted a long caption on Instagram thanking everyone who truly supported us through this journey. The implication was clear. I didn't support them. I wasn't there. 2 weeks after that, I logged into my bank account for a routine check and noticed something strange. A shared family savings account I'd helped set up years ago no longer had my name on it. I'd been removed without any notice or explanation. I sat at my kitchen table, the hum of the refrigerator the only sound in the apartment, and I felt the weight of it all. The exclusion, the dismissal, the silent erasure. But instead of crying or calling them again, I did something different. I started going through old emails, old paperwork. Years ago, I'd handled a lot of financial setup for the family because I was the organized one. I found records from a savings account, joint documents, transfer authorizations. I printed everything. I organized it into folders. I stopped reacting emotionally and started thinking strategically. I stopped begging for answers and started looking for patterns. And slowly, things began to make sense. What they didn't know was that I wasn't just an operations coordinator. For the past 3 years, I'd been running a profitable online consulting service under a business alias. It started as a side project, helping small companies streamline their workflows and logistics. It grew into something real, something that actually made money. My family never took it seriously. Whenever I mentioned it, my mother would wave it off. "Oh, your computer work." My sister once laughed and said, "That's cute, Laura." They had no idea I'd built something solid, something registered, something legitimate. A few nights after being excluded, I was reviewing my business bank statements when something caught my eye. There'd been a large transfer out of my business account 3 months ago. I didn't remember authorizing it. I pulled up the details. The transfer had been routed through an intermediary account before landing somewhere else. And that intermediary account, it was linked to my family, specifically to the same EIN I'd used when helping them set up their savings account years ago. They'd used my business funds for the wedding without asking, without telling me. I sat back, the glow of my laptop screen reflecting off the dark window. Outside, I could hear distant traffic. Inside, my mind was racing. But I didn't call them, I didn't confront them, I just waited, and I said nothing. A few days later, I reached out to someone I trusted. His name was Robert Chen. He'd been a finance director at a company I'd worked with years ago, and we'd stayed in touch. He was sharp, ethical, and he didn't tolerate nonsense. I sent him copies of the documents I'd found. Within 2 days, he called me back. "Laura, you need to understand something. Based on what you've shown me, you're listed as the primary account holder on this business account. Any significant transfers require your explicit consent, could be a serious issue." He walked me through the banking structure, the ownership trail, the authorization requirements. Everything pointed back to me. I owned it. Meanwhile, my family was growing more confident. My sister posted photos from her honeymoon. My parents commented on how smoothly everything went. My brother sent a group message joking about how expensive weddings were, but totally worth it. They thought they'd gotten away with it. 3 weeks after the wedding, my sister texted me out of nowhere. "Hey, can you sign something for me? Just a quick form. I'll send it over." She attached a PDF. I opened it. It was a retroactive authorization for the fund transfer. They wanted me to sign away my right to question it. I read it twice. Then I replied, "Sure, let's meet at the bank to go over it." She agreed immediately. The meeting was set for a Tuesday afternoon at the main branch downtown. I arrived early carrying a folder with all my documents. My sister showed up with my parents. They looked relaxed, almost smug. My mother gave me a tight smile. "Good to see you, Laura." We were directed to a private office, but when we walked in, there was someone else already there, a senior bank manager I hadn't expected. My sister glanced at me, confused. "What's this about?" The manager smiled politely. "Ms. Bennett requested a formal review of account activity. I'm here to facilitate." He opened a file and looked directly at me. "Ms. Bennett, you're listed as the primary account holder for the business account in question. Can you confirm you authorized the transfer made on March 15th? I looked at my sister, then at my parents, then back at the manager. "No, I did not." My sister's face went pale. "What are you talking about? Mom said you approved it." My mother jumped in, her voice rising. "This is a misunderstanding. Laura helped us set that account up. She knew we'd use it." The manager held up a hand. "I have the documentation here. The account is registered under Ms. Bennett's business EIN. Any significant transfers require her written approval. There's no record of that approval." My father tried to argue, claiming it was an informal family business. The manager calmly explained the legal requirements. My sister started crying. "Laura, please, we thought you were okay with this." I finally spoke, my voice steady and firm. "You didn't ask. You excluded me from the wedding, removed me from family accounts, and took my money without permission. You never once asked." The bank manager explained that the disputed funds would be frozen pending a formal review. My parents sat in stunned silence. My sister kept wiping her eyes, looking between me and the banker like she couldn't believe this was happening. They'd expected me to just sign the form and go away quietly. Instead, they were sitting in a bank office being told they'd used funds improperly. I didn't shout, I didn't gloat, I just stood up, collected my folder, and thanked the manager for his time. As I walked out, I could hear my mother calling after me, her voice shaking, but I didn't turn around. For years, I'd been the one they overlooked, the one they excluded, the one they thought would never fight back. But being excluded didn't erase my value. It just showed me exactly who they were. And silence, I realized, was never the same thing as weakness. Have you been excluded from family events but still expected to contribute behind the scenes? Have you been used financially while being dismissed emotionally? If this story resonates with you, please share your experience in the comments below. You're not alone. Subscribe to stay connected with others who understand, and click hype to help this story reach people who need to hear it. Your story matters. Thank you so much for listening and being part of this community. If you've ever had to stand up quietly, if you've ever found support when your own family failed you, you know how important it is to have people who understand. Please subscribe, drop a comment with your thoughts, and click hype to support others going through the same thing. We're stronger together. I'll see you in the next one.